Peter Martin Lindley. Peter's nomination to the Hall of Fame was sponsored by the OAC Class of '57 and the Ontario Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association. Peter Lindley, partnering at various stages with his father, cousin, and son, began his farming career with Lindley's Fruits and Vegetables on 34 acres in Burlington. Urban growth necessitated a change of location, and so in 1974 he established his current business, known as Pick and Pete, in Ancaster on 400 acres, where he grows strawberries, raspberries, cucumbers, tomatoes, and cauliflower. Throughout his farming career, he's been adept at integrating new technologies in order to stay competitive and profitable. He went on to share his expertise, drive, and ambition with the entire fruit and vegetable sector, and in the process became a major motivator for change. From 1970, he was part of the Ontario Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association and became its president in 1978. This involvement led to three very crucial changes on behalf of the sector, beginning with a review of the constitution of the OFVGA in order to broaden its scope to include all segments of the fruit and vegetable industry, thus giving them one voice when dealing with government on some of the many industry issues. Then, in 1979, while Peter was OFVGA president, the organization urged the federal government to eliminate the misleading federal requirement that imported produce carry the grade name Canada No. 1 on packaging. As a result, the Royal Commission of Inquiry into Issues in the Ontario Agri-Food Industry recommended that the use of Canada on imports be prohibited and that the country of origin be listed. This would assist consumers to choose local produce over imports. Next, the OFVGA pressed for an inquiry into the retail practices such as stocking charges, kickbacks, discounts, and allowances, which all serve to inhibit the sale of Ontario produce. The fact that the organization was able to represent the sector as a united front has served to position the growers well as they move forward and develop a sustainable, competitive industry. Peter also was appointed to several important committees, including the 1969 Committee on Farm Assessment and Taxation, which recommended to the government an appropriate basis for valuing farms for tax purposes, the Ontario Pesticide Advisory Committee from '71 to '78, which resulted in the classification of hundreds of products specifying appropriate levels of control in their use and application, and the 1983 Task Force on Occupational Health and Safety in Ontario, which made 52 recommendations to the ministry. Peter's contributions to Ontario agriculture did not end there. As well, he chaired the Ontario Agricultural Alumni Association from 1986 to 1989. He signed an agreement with the university to allow OAC alumni to stipulate that their donation go to OAC, thus substantially increasing the OAC Foundation's ability to support awards and scholarships. He also worked with OAC 57 to establish an endowment fund for undergraduate bursaries, as well as a 50th anniversary project to fund a lab in the new Bioproducts Discovery and Development Center at the University of Guelph. Peter Lindley's foresight, energy, and determination on behalf of Ontario agriculture and the fruit and vegetable sector have made him a worthy inductee into the Ontario Agricultural Hall of Fame. I invite Peter to the stage and ask that his friends, family, and supporters rise to be recognized.
Chairperson Brenda, and there are so many of you people out in the audience who use the prefix honorable before your name, I'm going to address you all as honorable friends. It's awful to get old and have to put the glasses on, just read what you've already printed. Congratulations to the other inductees and their families. I think the board of directors of the Hall of Fame decided that they needed to create an agricultural outstanding group of 7. My agricultural background goes very deep. My maternal great-grandfather established a dairy farm about 5 miles southeast of here in 1850. It remained in the Marshall family name until the summer of 2014. My paternal great-grandfather took minutes for a meeting held in Freeman, which was a suburb of Burlington, for a fruit growers organization in 1789. That organization became the Burlington District Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association, which became a member organization of the Ontario Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association. The OLF and VGA supported my nomination. In 1930, M.M. Bobby Robinson, who was the sports editor of the Hamilton Spectator, helped to create the British Commonwealth Games that were held in Hamilton that year. About the same time, he purchased a farm on Maple Avenue in Burlington, which was my ancestral home address. And so he became a neighbor. In the early 40s, he became the Secretary-Treasurer of the Ontario Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association. He was inducted into this Hall of Fame in 1984, and he will be inducted into the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, which is centered in Calgary this month as a legend. The principal group that prepared and sponsored my nomination was the graduating class of 1957 from the Ontario Agricultural College. Bill Fulton, a class member, and the glue maker for OAC 57 prepared the nomination. And I wish to thank him for his work and for the class of 57 for initiating the nomination. Many of the 57 graduates are here today, and they're primarily here to witness the hanging, but I think they'll have to wait for a little while because the hanging occurs once it gets over to the Hall of Fame. 2 people I must thank. My wife, Joan, and my ex-partner, David Lindley, who for the first 35 years of my career kept the home fires burning while I traveled the roads away from the farm. All of you here are interested in agriculture. You all like to eat and enjoy it. In my opinion, the future of agriculture is very bright. However, we must engage and participate in the best technology that's available that is supported by scientific research. Dr. Frank Vaccarino, the new president of the University of Guelph, states, and I want to be sure I quote this, "Focusing on innovation can help us find the upside of uncertainty." Thank you for the honor of appointing me to the Ontario Agricultural Hall of Fame.